Well, thank you for joining us. So thank you for coming on. We're excited to have you and chat with you and help the audience get to know you a bit more.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very curious about the project.
Well, hopefully it'll be lots of fun. Hopefully you enjoy the experience.
Let's see.
So,
I mean, of course we're gonna have fun.
Yes. So first question is kind of, we just want to know how you've kind of got to where you are. Like, how?
Sorry, I noticed you have an Aries mug. Are you an Aries?
Sorry?
Are you an Aries?
No.
Your mug say Aries?
You mean
I have no idea.
Your mug. What was written on your mug?
What mark?
No, your cup. What you're drinking out of.
Aries. Yes, but it's not mine.
Oh, that's my star sign.
I'm just using my boyfriend's cup because it's June.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm not an Aries.
That's funny.
It was close.
You're close. So at least you did read the right thing.
Yeah.
It means the quality is good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was meaning was, what kind of, I guess, got you to the point that you're in right now? Like, where did your content creation journey start? What kind of got you into it, and like where you are right now?
Okay, so let's begin. So I'm a chemist. I'm a chemistry student, and as a full-time student, you need like a side job. I don't know why my voice is going away. I sang so much last night in my living room. So I was tired of like the basic side jobs in the restaurant, waitering, washing dishes, everything when you're working abroad. And I was scrolling through TikTok, and that's how I saw more about UGC. And of course it seemed like those easy, quick fixes to your financial situation.
It really does. It really does. When you see it.
But then I got, I trained the algorithm to give me more UGC videos. So that's how I found an amazing UGC creator. I would say her name because I really appreciate her so much. It's Aisha from Belgium. And I also started UGC with her, with her guidance. So that was then, let's say, it was December 2023, and I officially, started in February. But it was hard because I was living like in a 4x4 room. It was like really hard to have an environment beneficial for me to start. Okay, fast forward. I moved a lot between the Netherlands, my home country, Moldova, and Austria, where I am now. So I didn't really have like a spot for me to create in the house. So that was also a hard point. But the community, the UGC community, helped me most to keep going. And I think that's most of it, my success.
Yeah. How have you, it's just really interesting because obviously like you can speak a few different languages in that. And obviously, like you said, one of the first UGC creators that you found, she was Belgium. What has it been like, I guess, kind of, are there different, how do you word it?
I do understand what you're saying.
Sublets of UGC, like, because you kind of fit into, obviously we can't necessarily fit into a sublet which speak a different language because we can't speak it. What, I guess, like, have you found any interesting things that stand out, or would you say they're all kind of the same, and it's been interesting being able to experience different sublets of UGC, if that kind of makes sense?
I do speak two languages, like Romanian and English. I am learning German right now, so I would say it's very hard to find only in English because I can't focus on Romanian. The budget is way too low, and sometimes they don't deliver more than Romania and Moldova. So I haven't been putting my effort into that. Regarding German, I did start making some videos trying to pitch, but of course they choose more experienced UGC creators. So I only focus on English speaking collaborations, which are very few. So I wouldn't say I have the best experience.
Is that because it's few because of where you're like living, and obviously it's a bit harder to kind of get products or that ship from like, you know, America or England or Australia where we are?
I think American brands don't really want to work at the moment with European creators because they have enough there. For UK, there are import fees, so most brands don't want to cover that, at least in my experience. So if I think of UGC in Europe, I see it as some groups, like if you know Dutch, French, Italian, Spanish, German, you're good.
Yeah. That's really interesting because obviously, like, yeah, we're really segregated from all of that being in like Australia. So it's really interesting, I guess, to kind of hear your situation in that regard. So does that mean you kind of? So yeah, you said you're studying chemistry, right? Because you're a pharmacist as well, like studying.
Not a pharmacist, but yes.
Yeah.
Chemist.
Do you intend to kind of continue, like, what is your goals, I guess? Like, because like you said, I guess it's a bit hard to kind of get the English UGC where you're located. Do you intend to kind of expand into different, because I've seen you've been doing the which I think is really cool, the makeup thing, with your series at the moment, like the self-care, self-love thing, and you're saying you were doing a makeup class or something, you were teaching people. I saw it was really cool.
I took a makeup course.
Yeah. So yeah. Is that something?
No. I took a makeup course to learn for myself how to do my own makeup, not to teach others.
Okay.
I do want to focus on chemistry, and my passion is cosmetic chemistry, but it's very hard at the moment in Austria. Like, there are not many opportunities, so I'll see. I'm just focusing on my master's right now. We'll see how it goes. Regarding UGC, I'm trying to be more positive right now. Like, I'm in a point in the journey where I need to regain again my focus, my energy, and just keep going. But to be honest, I had many deadlines, like, okay, 1 year I will give my best and see how it goes. And to be honest, I didn't do my best because it was hard writing my bachelor's thesis and all of that. Okay, there are also excuses. But until now, I would say it's not worth it to continue UGC, even if I'm good at that. But pitching takes a lot for me. It's it's the most common saying. Takes a lot of energy, time from the family. So it's I don't know if it's worth switching to UGC more seriously. But I am doing it seriously.
Yeah. No, we know what you mean. We know what you mean. It's definitely, I think, especially like you're saying, studying and stuff like that. We still work full time. She's studying psychology, so it is definitely really hard to kind of like balance it when you're trying, because you have to kind of give it your all to really get the most success from it. But then when you're trying to balance it all, it kind of doesn't always work in that favor. So you're kind of running, like pushing a sled up a hill almost.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you could always put more time into it, like, but then you're pushing yourself, I think. So it's hard. It's hard to like gauge how much is the right amount to be doing.
But that's what I like about UGC. Like, I have control over it. Like, the amount of effort I put into it, it's gonna be the outcome. So I have the mindset that I have to work even harder so I can see results. But that's the problem, because then you just burn through. You don't know that limit. And yeah.
Do you have any, I guess, like other content creation goals? Like you said, UGC is kind of like, you gave yourself that timeline of a year. You do want to put it a bit more effort in, but it's a bit hard. But like you said, you got that series that you're doing at the moment. You learned the makeup course for yourself. Like, what is, like, I guess, do you like, is it something, because I remember seeing also you did, like, I can't remember if it was for UGC, but you did a couple like YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like, are you planning to go like YouTube long term? Like, what are kind of like your long term goals within the content creation?
Okay, so I'll just break it down. For the YouTube part, it was a collaboration with the e-commerce platform. I'm not planning to go into YouTube, but I'm happy I got the experience to extend from the short form content to the long form. I have that experience. It's so unique. I'm happy about it, even if it was a lot of pain to deal with because it was a brand that wasn't used to UGC, so it was a lot of going on. Regarding my series, I think I wanted to try to combine my self-love journey, like on the personal level, to try to build a community with that, and that's my goal that's my goal to build a community. But as I said, I am in a period where I'm trying to redefine some goals or to try another strategy. But to be honest, it's hard to it's hard to just do it. Wait, let me think for a second because I lost my thought.
That's okay.
Like at the moment, I'm trying to also clean my gallery because I need storage. So I'm good at repurposing content. I'm low on energy, so I film once a week, and it's not like batch content. It's just filming once and trying to figure out more content ideas from that 2 hours of filming. So I think I'm good at repurposing.
That's really smart.
Yeah,
that's
but
really smart.
But
that's
it's not
like
batch content. Like the whole week, my content looks the same. Not the same, but the outfits and the makeup looks the same.
yeah.
But it's just because I still have to find that balance.
about, but it works. Like
Yeah.
I really liked. Oh yeah, you go.
No, I'll just say your content's like really good. Like your content's amazing. Like like to me, it stands out a heap. Like you just look like you're a pro at making short form content. Like I'm jealous. You look so good at it.
Yeah, that's what I was actually also gonna say, because like we think we're probably like better at long format than short format, so we've been finding it in an interesting like road bump. But like with you, like I wanted to say, like I hope you keep like going and find that balance, because like you're like really good. Like
you have like a talent for content.
Like it's so funny hearing you kind of say that, like, you know, that you're struggling a bit and you kind of like finding that balance, because like, yeah, even though like you're saying you're the repurposed queen, like you're pretty, regardless of what, like your content's good. Like you wouldn't assume that you're kind of feeling up and down about it, if that makes sense.
Maybe I should change my bio, repurposing queen.
Wow, I love the content that you posted yesterday. Like I thought that was, I can't think like that. I wish I could, but like that was so good. Just like you said, like you did the video and it was just you singing like the music and you had the face mask and you were saying how it was like we just repurposing the content.
That was a collab from November, because I told you I'm going through my gallery. So yeah, I started with February when I started UGC, and now I'm in December this year. So I still delete videos. I understand what I need, what I don't need. Because to be honest, it's hard to delete raw footage, but you don't really need it. I try to trim it to have like nice B-rolls, but some of them you don't need it. So I'm just trying to take out the most ideas out of all the content and then delete.
I think that's smart. I respect that a lot. I think that's smart. And like you said, with being like short on time, and that it's definitely a useful way. Like it makes me think that we should try and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how well we would go.
I'm gonna go through my camera roll after this.
That takes a lot of time. I just like my gallery to be clean.
Yeah.
That
no, that's really interesting to hear. But yeah, I hope you keep kind of going in that whatever direction you go in. Like if you had felt like giving up, I guess maybe not, but like we're just kind of reinforcing that you shouldn't. You should feel more confident than what you do.
Thank you, and that's true. It's a journey in the end.
Yeah. Well, now we'll kind of head into like the fun little part, I guess. Well, it's been fun so far, but it's kind of like the more laid back questions. So our first one is, if you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? and why?
Oh, I mean, I was thinking of mango, but that's not a food.
That
But
counts.
because of that, I would eat um, a Thai curry mango.
Yeah.
Because I was
That-
talking to a friend yesterday, and there is this Asian place that has the most amazing curry. I'm obsessed with mango, so it has like mango sauce with syrup. It has pieces of mango in it. It has maybe duck in it, but that's extra. It has huge pieces of vegetables. It's just so filling, and rice on the side. It's like everything.
That sounds so good. I love like mango curry, but it's so hard. In Australia, you get lots of green curry and like not really mango curry is really hard to find, but
Mhm.
it's like really tasty. So that's really cool that I like that you chose that.
Yeah, because you get everything. You get like
Yeah.
vegetables, fruit, carbs,
Mhm.
meat. It's
But I would
grounded.
change my. I will also change my answer. I have a second option because I was thinking more realistically. um, I would choose. Did you say food or meal?
Or
Either.
anything.
Okay,
Like
okay. Then I would choose quiche because I can make so many different kinds of. I have so many different kinds of variations, and
Yeah.
for example, I'm alone these days, 5 days, 3 days because of Easter holiday. So I made myself a quiche, and I know it's gonna last like 3-4 days for lunch
Yeah.
and dinner. So I'm good for a few days.
that's
That's the meal.
such. I never even thought about that when you answer that question. You kind of pick a food that you can repurpose. Again, repurposing. Oh, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Very resourceful. So our next one is, if there was a museum about you and it had a gift shop attached, what would the souvenirs be?
Uh, the first thought was a guitar, even if I'm not fully showing it or I'm not playing at the moment. I still have it's still a passion of mine. But I guess just little crazy stuff. Um, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good question. Maybe I will have more sections like mm, for self-grow, a self-grow section where maybe a very fun journal. That doesn't sound fun. But with with fun sections. I would have a section for just crazy stuff like oh, I don't know.
It's a really hard question, but I
That's a
like the
good
way.
one. I have to think about it today. Before bed, I
Well,
will
maybe,
think.
maybe we can ask you at the very end, see if you can think about it as we keep going.
Sure.
'Cause I liked what you were saying though. You kind of I haven't heard that answer before. You kind of like break it up into different sections. Like even like what that made me think about was like you could make the gift shop like when you from like leaving the museum, entering it to like I guess like getting to the checkout. It's like different aspects of your life. So maybe
Yes,
one of your
like
favorite things as a childhood, your favorite things as a teenager, your favorite thing as an adult. That's really cool.
Yeah.
maybe I would. Okay, I was just thinking of because I have as a background on my laptop. I made a vision board for the first time. Um, so it has all my hobbies and things I want to do more. And it's also grouped. So I think I would do the same for the gift shop. I would have one for the sports like hiking, skiing, bouldering, maybe from a tiny little keychains or something that can help you during those sports. I would have a section for, as I said, self love, some journaling, um, and then chemistry, maybe a book and tips with skincare questions or to break down the chemistry behind cosmetics, something very scientific and useful. And then, oh, a corner for dreams, like all the brands I want to work with, but in a small miniature. Like, for example, if I want a bag, it's going to be a bag and you can carry it with you, so you can have it as a reminder that that's your goal as well, or or
I like that.
to
That's
look
cool.
forward to.
I like that. That's cool. A bit of everything.
Yeah. I can't choose.
So, if you were a toy, what would be the warning label on your packaging?
Careful, I'm crazy.
Good one.
I don't
like
know.
that.
Sometimes I have so much energy, and it's like those mood swings. It's not normal. It's normal, but it's crazy.
A bit,
Crazy.
bit,
That's
bit to
crazy.
handle.
Yeah. Be careful when you open it.
If you could add one completely... Oh, wait, I skipped a question, sorry. If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be and why?
Hmm. It's hard. I'm bad at that. But I would choose... Do you mean in a book or in a movie or...
Either. Give one book and one movie.
Okay. So the first thought was Hannah Montana, because you have two lives, and I feel like I'm the same, with chemistry and then content creation.
Yeah.
And from a book, I am thinking of Dan Brown's book, because Langdon is so adventurous and going on so many adventures in different countries, solving mysteries, and I'm very attracted to that. I feel like my life is a mystery, so it's like I'm going to one place, having a hint, going to another place, finding out something about myself. So it's a journey.
And then he can give you tips on like what best way to like prepare for each adventure.
Yeah. But it's also more about the art. It's also more about the art, and you should read it. I understand you don't know it.
Yeah, no, we haven't read it. So
Dan Brown, Angels and Demons. What books does he have? I've read so many with the main character, Robert Langdon. I'm searching it now. Yeah, right now. Angels and Demons, Inferno, The Lost Symbol, Origin. You should know it.
I've seen them in a bookstore, but I haven't read them.
Okay.
I've seen the Inferno.
Yeah. And I've seen Angels and Demons. I'm pretty sure that's a movie too.
There is also a movie, but
yeah.
it's much better to read the books. It's like, if you're not reading really much at the moment, you should start with Dan Brown, because then it's so catchy and you find that like spark that you want to read books again. Like, it's so catchy. I recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're reading Shadowhunters. What?
Yeah.
At the moment, so you might have to grab those after that.
Yeah, I'm like reading a series that I'll be finishing soon, so I need something new to read after that. So I'll have to check those out.
Great.
Have you done a lot of traveling? Because obviously, with your story that you told us, we've already heard like a bit of travel. Have you traveled much?
I mean, I would say yes. It's an average amount. I'm very lucky to the amount it exists. So I've been to just the Netherlands, Belgium, around Austria, Czech, Poland, Slovakia. My country also consider as a travel destination, because I'm going there twice a year. So it feels like a travel destination sometimes. Romania, and that's it. Those are the countries.
Which one would you kind of, I guess, if you weren't living where you're living now, which one would you probably maybe like choose to move to, possibly?
Austria. I wouldn't choose any other country. Like, I think it has everything, and it's the heart of Europe. Like, you can go easily where you want. The weather is good, like in between cold and warm. It has good winter skiing. It has everything. Like, you have everything you need here.
No, that's cool. I guess I didn't really know that much. Someone we worked with when we were living in a different state. He was from Jake was also from Austria, was he not? Yeah. And he didn't really, I don't know when his family moved to Australia, but he didn't really talk about it much. But we'd been thinking about maybe next year or
we wanna like move overseas.
Yeah, and like live in Europe somewhere for a bit. And like we were originally thinking like Sweden or Germany, but by the sounds of it, Austria seems like the place to be.
No, please come to Austria.
We'll have to definitely add that in.
Vienna is more international, and it will be much easier to speak English. The public transportation is much better than Germany, and the architecture is so beautiful. And especially if you come in spring, summer, autumn is just so pretty. But also in winter, it's pretty with all the Christmas markets. But like there is more life. Okay, there is more life for me in spring.
Yeah.
Everything is blooming and it's pretty.
It sounds very nice.
We think like in Australia, we don't even have like proper seasons. It's like hot for 3/4 of the year,
and then it's like
really cold, but we don't even get snow. So it's just like.
But then even when it's really cold, there's still days where it's like hot. So it's like can't escape the heat.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I just finished the movie Ladies in Black, and it was filmed in Australia, and I didn't know until it was New Year and they were in summer dresses, and I'm like, wait, what's this movie?
I would love to experience like a white Christmas. That's on my bucket list.
That'd be really cool. How much of is Austria really like English dominant or like Vienna?
I would say yes. I mean, you do need to know German. It's very polite to know the country's language, but you can get around with English. Everyone is polite, and if you're planning to stay temporarily, it's good. I mean, a few months, but it's still nice to just learn like a few basic conversation phrases. But I would say you wouldn't get lost.
Oh, that's good. That's good because I guess like sometimes you hear certain places in Europe, it's like they don't speak English at all, or it's like super minimal.
No. It's very international friendly.
Okay.
Even
oh, sorry, you go.
No. I wanted to say even seniors know English, so you wouldn't get lost. Maybe they would be more skeptic in helping you because they do love German. But people can help you. Will help you.
Yeah.
I have like that like a weird interest where even though I'm not actively pursuing it as much as I'd like to, I want to learn like as many languages as I can. But it's so hard. Like I actually want to learn German, and I've started, but then I'm like struggling to upkeep a routine. So then obviously like it doesn't stick, but that's my goal is to get into a routine.
What ways have you kind of, I guess, learned or has helped you kind of like what are you doing at the moment? Because you were using Duolingo, and then we bought a couple of books and stuff like that to help. What ways are you kind of going about learning the different languages?
So again, at the moment, I don't have a routine. I'm trying to create one, but without that, let's stop it there. But yeah, Duolingo is, it's good to have fun with, but I would say try to find podcasts, like very easy podcasts. Even if you don't understand, just listen to it. There are some very beginner-friendly podcasts, and also on YouTube there is Easy German, I think. They have both subtitles and German and English. Speaking as much as possible is the way, even if I'm avoiding it as well. But if you are in the right environment, then it's much easier to learn. But just listen to podcasts, films, watch lots of movies. Just get used to hearing the language,
Yeah. That makes sense. Even the film thing, even because then you're kind of associating words with actions too through film. So that would make sense. I hadn't thought about that.
because that's how I learned English. I didn't learn it in school, just for 2 years, 3 years, but I was listening a lot of music and movies, because learning all the grammar and like book to stay with books, it's hard to concentrate. It helps, of course, but you need like those extra help, visuals and audio sources.
Well, I've always heard that English is like really backwards to learn.
Really hard to
Yeah,
learn.
if like you're not English speaking. How difficult did you find it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Like, I would say I'm very bad at learning languages, and I don't remember how I learned English. It's just through music, some lessons I had, but I don't remember them having such an impact. It's like, because I'm a slight perfectionist, which is bad, I tend to go back to the lesson again and again, and I can't move forward because of that, because I feel like I need to know it perfectly in order to go forward. And that's a mistake I'm doing now with German, and I realize it, but it's just hard to skip a lesson if you partially understand it,
Yeah.
It's logical, like you will understand later just by doing it. It's the same with UGC. Just by creating, you will understand what can be improved, how to film, what to film, how to come up with ideas, how to pitch, it's just by doing it. And it's the same with the language. But English, I remember when I moved to the Netherlands, I only had 3 years when I moved to the capital for my high school. That's when I started having like lessons at school, because previously I had Russian and French. I don't know French. I don't know. It's okay. I could create content in Russian. But I'm saying I was very scared to speak English, because I was mostly into movies and listening. So talking was a real problem. So it took, I think, some weeks to just be confident and do it. It was also helpful that it was more international environment. There were people from all over the globe, so it was easy to just try it. It was also hard because there were so many accents, so that was a challenge. But it's just by doing it.
Yeah, well, your English is pretty good. That's why
amazing.
that's why I was interested.
Good, but now I'm forgetting my own language, my native language, because I'm speaking so rarely.
When we went to Japan, we tried speaking Japanese every time we were interacting with people, and that was really, really interesting experience. It was really funny because obviously, like, English to Japanese translations aren't always like exact or, informal, formal phrases. So a lot of the time people were laughing at us, but it was just a learning experience. But it was fun.
I think it was also interesting to see who appreciated it and who was just kind of like, why are you trying? and then some, I remember there was one Starbucks person, I'm like speaking to them, and then they said something, and it's like I was watching them realize I couldn't speak Japanese, and I had only learnt like after doing it for like 3 weeks straight, like so many lines, and then they just like completely started laughing because they're like, "Oh my gosh, no, he doesn't know any other words," because they must have said something, and I was like, I just looked at them, and I was like, "Oh,
no
I don't know what to say."
Oh, I'm so sorry. That seems so rude. That would be so demotivating for me. But it's I don't know. In my opinion, they, at least in the Netherlands, in Austria, they really appreciate when you try to speak their language. They encourage you. They don't really pay attention to the errors. They try to help you. So laughing at it seems so harsh. But I do understand, especially at Starbucks. Maybe I would be more annoyed. Like, I need to do my orders. Let me finish. Let me do my work. Let me just speak in English. I can understand. So
yeah. I think because they all because obviously I guess they all must learn it, because all of them could actually speak English and like pretty decently. So I think they were always, I think they found it in, like what's the right word? I guess they weren't, I didn't feel like they were mocking, like they kind of like could appreciate that I was trying, because it was really impressive to, not impressive, that's the wrong word. It was really, interesting to see how rude a lot of the, because that was what was funny. We went to what was ramen. We went to like a famous ramen place where it was like ramen museum, and one of the people we were talking to were talking about how apparently a lot of American tourists go there and they're really, really rude. And apparently Australians get mixed up with Americans. And so it was funny. It was interesting to see how I think, yeah, the more Starbucks we went into, I was like watching like Americans, I guess, be really rude to them. So I could see they would appreciate me trying. And then, yeah, I guess they just thought it was funny when they realized like I couldn't say anything. And they're like, oh, you know, you can't speak English.
Yeah, I also do have cases when I'm starting in German, and then at some point I don't understand anymore, and then I say, sorry, I speak English.
Yeah.
But regarding what you said about Americans, I'm not gonna say anything about that, but around that, I think it's important to realize, like when you travel, when you move to another country, is that you have to respect the local language. So when you speak only English, you have to try to speak a bit slower, to try to hide your accent, because it's honestly hard to understand for me, it's also hard sometimes to understand Americans because they speak so fast and fluently, and it's just hard. So I don't know. It's an advice that I want to somehow give to every tourist, because I also hear it when I'm walking, speaking fluently and so natural to locals. But you have to try to speak as clear as possible for them to understand you. Like maybe they don't know English, but they can catch some words. And if you speak so fast, they would just say no.
Yeah. That's really good.
I learned when I travel, just try to pick a few keywords, like emphasize a few keywords, because maybe it sounds familiar in their own language.
That was like what I like that advice. I think that's really good advice. I think that's really important, because what was funny about Japan too was it Sumima-san, or it was either that or something else. What we worked out was we didn't realize in Japanese, it's funny. So it means two things. So
oh yeah,
it means like excuse me
and sorry.
Sumima-san.
Yeah. Excuse me, no. I thought it was because what we worked out was we started going into places, and then they were saying it when you walked in. So it was also like another way of saying like hello.
Yeah.
And we were getting like really confused because you walked in, and then we were like, why are they saying excuse me? And then we worked out that they're going like hello. And so that like, I think like you said, it's really important to kind of learn little key phrases like that can kind of just help you navigate little conversations and then help them kind of understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's just true. English, like in any language with an accent, can just sound so different. Certain words would not even sound the same. So yeah, that's such good advice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, we got a bit sidetracked, but we'll go back to the last little question. If you could add one completely unnecessary feature, so you had your own house and you could add an unnecessary feature like a water slide or like a sliding bookcase, like what cool feature would you add to your house?
It doesn't exist yet, but I would add self-cleaning floors. I mean, I could buy a robot, but it takes space.
That's smart.
Well, they're not those circle things. They're useless. My like uncle had one, and it would like get stuck, and it would just go back and forth in the one spot. So I like that self-cleaning floors. Someone needs to invent that. Could you imagine that? That'd be so good.
Yeah, it
cleans the whole space.
Yeah, I wonder how you'd make that work.
The floors, the floors and the carpets, that would be enough for me.
Imagine if it was like something. It makes me think of like when you go through the car wash thing, like when you drive your car in, it sprays and then it does the fluff thing that washes your car. It's like something like that for the floor. You click a button and then these things come out from the wall or up from the ground.
Yeah, from the floor.
Yeah.
From the floor, please. That's
I like that.
You're onto something. So, what is the best advice that you've ever been given? What comes to mind?
The first thought is that I am my worst enemy. So it's it's all in my mind. Everyone. That's why I have to ask for a second opinion to see myself from a different perspective, because we just drag ourselves down. We self-critique us so much. I don't know why I'm speaking in plural. I feel like I have more personalities than others. Depending on the situation. I so it's just listening to another perspective, because I I am good enough. I can do it, and it's just all in my head.
Yes,
I love that. That's
like
so
that.
smart.
It's
Yeah.
very, very, very important. I think it's always good to. I think sometimes we can be too stubborn and not listen to like a second opinion, and I think that's really good advice. Like I think
It's not
everybody
about
doesn't matter.
stubbornness. It's not about stubbornness. It's about not actively listening. Like you hear a compliment and you're like in your head, no, that's. I feel like you have another perspective. Like when you were complimenting me, I was still had in my mind, like I feel another way because I'm in the front perspective. I don't know how to say it, in the front row. I'm doing all the creation. I'm behind the scenes, so I can't accept the compliment because I know how is it truly like, all the overthinking and downtime and doom scrolling, like. But that's I have to work on that, because I just
Yeah.
have to accept the compliment, listen to the compliment, and maybe think twice. Like if someone said that from the side, it means they see it differently, and it's just in my head.
And I think that's also something that, like, at least in my experience, I wasn't taught growing up. What you don't learn it at school either. You know what I mean? And it's also like sometimes, like in some situations, the thoughts that you're even having, like you're having about yourself, it's not actually like actively what's going on. It's like, I think when you spend so much time with yourself in your head, you start to not even always see things as they are. And like that's where like a second opinion is so good. But yeah, that's super important. And I just feel like, like you just don't necessarily get taught that growing up unless a family member, you know, your parents teach you. And I think some people grow up just thinking all their thoughts are what's happening and that's what's real, when that's not always the situation. I think that's super important.
Yeah, that's why therapy is good. The right type of journaling is good. Just sitting with yourself is good. It's hard in the beginning because you have all those negative thoughts, but you have to just go from another perspective or path to really understand why you're feeling that. But it's all valid in the end. We're humans.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Constant work and reflection. All right, so the flip now of that is, what would you kind of say is the worst advice someone has given you? So hopefully anyone that's listening maybe hasn't been given that advice, but then can kind of know what to avoid.
I would correlate it with UGC. So I would say, if you start UGC, don't focus on pitching, but really focus on creating content, on building your skills. So I wouldn't say it's the worst advice, but starting pitching so early, I wouldn't say it was very beneficial for me, because even if I like I had an understanding of how to film, you're still very bad at it if you compare it to what you are right now. So you really have to focus on just creating and postpone a bit pitching.
Yes, I like that. I think
that's the skill you're trying to kind of build up a skill, whereas pitching, I think, it kind of can come after.
But it's also even that thing of, it can be demotivating. Like you're pitching so early on, but because you don't have that skill or don't necessarily have the proof that the brands may want to see to hire you, you then may be getting rejection after rejection, and then you kind of could get discouraged, or maybe you want to like, you go, well, am I not good enough? And then those really bad self-talk can happen. So I think that's really important. I agree, because so many people are just like, it's simple, make a portfolio and start pitching immediately, and it's like I like where you're going with what you're saying.
And I have another point is followers do matter, especially in the beginning. I would say like really, maybe you have another question with advice for beginners, but I would just say now, like focus on Instagram, on TikTok, because this is like building your skills as well, building a community. It's in the beginning, it's a second place, even if it's very good, but by doing, you learn again how to film, how to do things, what angles work better. And because just making a portfolio is not enough. Like just by doing, you see what's wrong and how you can improve it. Like even now I'm still struggling to see what angles I can do for fashion, what angles work in my house for another niche. Like it's never ending. So a portfolio is good, but just do it, just create content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not,
I
I guess,
get
like,
a
yeah,
bit sidetracked.
no. I think you're onto it. I really like that too, because it's kind of like, I think people can not realize, I guess it's like a portfolio is like a controlled experiment where like posting content and building a community, it's kind of really that way to actually have a wider experiment to kind of go, well, what is people like? What are people liking? What angles are working? What's not? And then that can help you refine your content.
Mm-hmm.
If you could change one thing about about social media culture, what would it be and why?
I would change. I know what I would change. I'm just trying to see how can I formulate it more kindly. um, maybe it will sound rude, but I wish not everyone would start content creation, because sometimes it's just copying, and of course everyone has their own journey. Everyone can start and learn and grow, but I see, at least now with the new UGC creators, everyone is doing the same things. The quality is not there, and of course it grows, but it's like at some point it's you have to, no, I'm not going in a good way. That's not what I had in mind.
Do you kind of mean, I think oh, no, wait. Do you mean, I was just gonna say, I think I understand what you're trying to say, because it's kind of like, I think we've been thinking about this lately. Well, I definitely have been, and it's kind of like, unfortunately, we live in a day and age where, like, yeah, social media has kind of become like this thing where it's like, you want to get rich quick, or you want to, like, not work a job, do social media. But it's like what you're saying. I think it's diluting, or it's unfortunately, not in a harsh way, and making people think that they can make content when they can't. It's still a skill. And like, I'm not even going to sit here and say, I think our content's amazing. Like, we're still continuing to grow and trying to find our unique rhythm and pattern. And I think it's really important that, I think, yeah, some people just are coming on and wanting to copy others. And it's more about like, yeah, maybe, because I think some people copy and then never end up finding their own groove, or never able to kind of grow into the content that maybe they're hoping to. So then at the end of the day, maybe content creation's not for them. And that's not even, like you said, not even in a rude way, not even in a, like, I think it's a great platform and everyone should give it a go. But I think it's like finding that line. It's like between anything. It's like working at a real life job that you may want to, like, do, or you've always had a passion for, and then it's realizing, oh, maybe I'm actually not as good as what I thought. If that kind of makes sense.
I think content creation should come from a place of creativity, and really you want to do it, because I'm also guilty. I started because I need financial support. So, but you can see that in certain content from the new UGC creators, like they're trying to copy, they want to grow fast, they wanna have a quick fix, so they don't really put much thought behind it, like to come up with something new, to have a new perspective or a new take on things. So it's really like seeing all over again. And I'm also guilty of it. Like I'm looking at big influencers, and I do see the same type of content, but I do sometimes like it, like the aesthetics, and maybe I'm trying to recreate it. But honestly, I'm tired of the same format. But it's at the same time, of course, you'll have the same format because it's who has the whole time to come up with new angles and new locations. It's like, of course, it's easy to have your corner, to have the cameras always there's the lights, so you just start filming. But I am missing the creativity, but it does take a lot of time. So that's why it's also part of my overthinking when I post, because I'm thinking, is it unique? Is it worth posting? Because I feel like I need to post every time something unique. I feel guilty when I post like everyone else. So it's that guilt that you have to live with sometimes, because again, only with posting and creating, you maybe you think of new takes, new concepts. So yeah, only by doing is the creation path gonna reveal itself.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, I haven't actually even thought about it like that, but it's like making me think about it, and I can really see how it's like, I think some people are taking social media as just like an avenue for like to jump onto something and then become a part of it, and they're completely losing like creative freedom, and they're not using it creatively. And I think that's the best part of social media.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking of UGC, because when I see examples, UGC examples, I see that brands want the same format, like nothing complicated. But when I work with a brand, I'm trying to really think like out of the box, and sometimes I'm complicating myself when the brand is not clear. But they want a simple concept, and it's just, I want to do something new for them. Like everyone could just do a get ready with me or something, but you have to stand out. And it's just hard that brands also just want the simple concept. Like social media is just simple and a bit copy paste, and the creativity is sometimes gone. But yeah,
I know.
I'm trying to find a community where people who really like stand out and get inspired, or boost my creativity through them. Wow, that sounded so smart.
I think like what you're saying with brands and that, it's like it's funny. You're right. It's like weirdly sometimes brands have kind of fell into that weird trap of that copy and paste of a brand goes, I want this, but like as being someone who wants to be creative or bring something new, or that's the whole thing. You got to kind of pitch in a really unique way to kind of be like, I can bring something different to you, but then you then overthink and make it way more complicated in your head, and then you try and create something super different, and then they're not even happy with it, or it's like not even kind of what they were wanting, because you have to kind of sell them on something that you're not even going to do, because they actually just want a simple content that's like kind of what is trending or whatever. But then if you pitch them that way, they're kind of like, oh well, why should I not just go with someone else? It's a really a contradiction, I guess, in some way. It's really interesting that you've like made that clear. You put it in a good way. I'm like losing my words.
That's why it's also hard to pitch, because you're thinking, okay, should I go with the simple idea that every brand wants, that you see it all over Instagram, or should you take like a really new concept, like something very, very new? It's hard to decide what to do. Like it's so contradictory.
Yes. It's interesting, but I think like also too, I guess UGC being so new, I think like there's lots of refinement, I guess, to happen, because I think what's funny is like something that I know I personally don't like is the whole contradiction of like, oh, you don't need all these followers, you don't need to be an influencer, I'm still getting paid, it's UGC, but it's like it's then created this rigid format of like less creativity, because then they're going, oh well, this is what UGC has been doing and then it's only just recently blown up, so then more people are coming in and then more people are then recreating the same flow, and then like you're saying, we're losing that creativity or that flexibility to bring something unique, instead of kind of that, I guess, standard that has been set now. Were that right? Yeah.
I want to say first about UGC. I feel like it doesn't have a very specific definition. We somehow now blend in with influencers. So maybe UGC is just influencing, but it is influencing, but the cheaper version. So maybe that's why brands want the same concept, simple concept as influencers do, just video with me and try the product on. But we see it as a new take, but at the same time it's it's hard to have all this new concept, crazy editing, because it feels not that it's not like a good selling point. Like if you're scrolling on TikTok and you see this full of edits and salesy voice, it's like you're just scrolling because you're not interested. So no, it does have to be like influencers do, because they speak so naturally, but also they build a community, so that's why it's so much easier for them. So I feel like there is a fine line between UGC and influencing, but I do like when I see UGC more like influencers because it seems much more natural, because I'm just starting to see those testimonials where like they really feel scripted. Like it's of course good to have a script, but I'm tired of those. Like you have to think and to be more creative. But brands still want, some brands like that boring hook, a body and a CTA. Even if it's not that salesy script, you still have to have hook, body, CTA, but you can have it in a natural and more organic way.
Yeah.
You have to find the right brands, because it's hard.
Yes, definitely. I think the key lesson for anyone listening today, I think, is let's bring back creativity. I feel like we've lost a bit of creativity. Let's bring that back. I think that's important. I think that's good. I think every creator, every UGC creator, every influencer, every brand, anything, I feel like it should just be a part of, I guess, pursuing or partaking in social media, is that, once a month you kind of have like a creativity day. It's kind of going over, have I stepped away from being super creative? How can I come back to that?
That just like made me think it could also be about people being scared to step out of their comfort zone and being afraid of how their like more creative content's going to be perceived, because for a lot of people showing their creativity can be really vulnerable for a lot of people. So that's also like an interesting
take.
Yeah.
You made a good point, because I've heard someone told me once that I have to try to post more organic content, like more get ready with me and more chill, more chiller posts, like not crazy edits, because brands don't want to see that. And that's true. And I think it's not true, I got hurt by that, but I think it has to be a balance between not stopping your creativity and showing what brands want, because maybe the brands want in the end your creativity, but it has to be a good balance. But it just hurts to hear that you need this type of content. Show your face, put the product on, show the product, show macro shots of product, and that's it. And
Yeah.
it's good, but maybe that's not what I want to do, and that's fine. I just have to find what works for me.
And I think another part about like, because UGC is in a community, when you're following other accounts, it's like, I want to see more of the person. Like I actually want to see them and like hear more about them. And then I start getting invested in like them as well. So like you want to start seeing more than just UGC content.
But that's what's a community about. That's why a UGC creator has to start. I think it has to start an account, because I got sidetracked. Yeah. Can we forget about it?
Yeah.
It's by starting an account, you build a community, you yourself, you show more of yourself. That's what also brands care about, a community, how you're perceived and what influence you have. But that's a point I wanted to say earlier. It's good to start an account because you start as a UGC, but UGC brings so many opportunities, at least what I saw from other creators here, that maybe in the future you want to start influencing as well. Like if you step by step build a community, you start to have that feeling of, I belong somewhere. I want to give something. I take like positive vibes from my community. Maybe I want to go into influencing. You don't know. You can't say following doesn't matter, because it can bring so many. It can open so many doors. So you never know. Like if you're into content creation, just start posting and you'll see where it takes you.
Yes, I think that's very important. Just do it and see what happens. Don't give up, and literally, if following is important. I think that's definitely something that you need to kind of pay attention to, because, like you said, it's a community. Because brands want to see that people like your content, people are enjoying what you're posting, and that you have influence. So it is important to just kind of build that repertoire, I guess, is a good way to say it. All right, well, our final question is to kind of do a full 180, make it a way more like fun and lighthearted, is what is something that no matter what, it will always bring you joy? So we want to bring a piece of your joy to this podcast and hear what, makes you happy no matter what.
You mean UGC related or in general?
In general, like whether it's singing, whether it's walking by a park, drinking a coffee, like what, no matter what, every single day you could do it for the rest of your life. It's always going to put a smile on your face.
There's so many things to choose from, but I think I would choose going outside, because with UGC, with studying, I can just be stuck in the house, and I just forget that I'm a human being. I need to leave. I need to go outside to enjoy nature. So just by being next to something green, not something green, but grass, trees, flowers, this does make me happy. To hear the birds, to hear the wind. You can hear the wind. Just going outside.
I love that. I think that's so important. I think we get tied down sometimes to not really just appreciating and going outside and just being present. And like you said, hearing the birds, feeling the wind, hearing
Get some fresh light, because this artificial light is tiring.
It is so important.
Yeah, and I just feel like we have a special like connection to nature, and it really grounds you. It's like sometimes you forget, and then you go outside and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm on planet Earth, like this, like tree.
I feel better. Yeah.
That's so true. It's like we're so busy like on our phones trying to make content, or studying on a computer, and it's like you forget you're like on a planet.
Yeah, on a floating rock in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Oof.
And like just going out in nature, disconnecting, or going for a walk, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm
Yeah.
a little person on a big
And
planet.
it's it's meant to be proven to like reduce your stress levels as soon as you like go outside.
Yeah, in the end, it's just seeing the bigger picture. Like
Mm.
you can't get too focused, because then you really forget that you have to leave as well. Like it's good to
Yes.
be concentrated. That's not what I'm saying, or to focus on one specific thing. But we do forget the bigger picture. I forget the bigger picture, and
We
this
I
trend is
definitely
going,
do.
sorry, this trend is going on. Like that's the whole point. Where I forgot that that's the whole point. Like to just be happy and do your own thing and leave.
Yeah, it's very like it's like a full circle. Like we're studying, we're doing content to pursue like career or financial or whatever goal it is, to have a happier life and like
But
to
that's the
live.
point. Like now it's life. It's not like you need to wait until you get that job or that opportunity that you move to that country. You leave every step. You have to enjoy the journey more than the destination.
Mhm.
Sounding beautiful.
So poetic.
Very poetic. I think that's a beautiful way to end today's podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully it's been fun.
Yeah, I think I had so much